It's time to bear down.
Mike Berman is here to bring you the best of the Bears.
There's a Berman.
Where?
On the Bears. Oh. Every hit.
Every touchdown. Every Monday.
Berman on the Bears.
Brought to you by the Berman Auto Group.
On the Big 89 WLS.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, small story here, but if you love golf like I do and Andrea does, Nick Dunlop did something this weekend, Mike, that you're aware of because you reported on it. Mm-hmm. Nick Dunlop, first amateur since Phil Mickelson in 1991 to win a regular tour event. Won the American Express because he's an amateur. He couldn't take the prize money. The $1 million plus went to second place Christian Boot.
Something like that.
Tough name to pronounce.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, on to football. How are you?
I'm good. I guess my biggest takeaway there, selfish me, is I can't believe you were up late last night watching Sports Sunday. But thank you, Steve.
I watch you every week, dude. Every week. I think you're the best, and I'm not being flip here. I think you are the best sportscaster on TV in town, bar none.
Oh, well, I appreciate
Agree.
that. Very kind. But
Radio,
yeah,
you need a lot of work, but TV, man, you're good.
How do you think Waldron feels waking up knowing, if I were a pro, I'd have $1.5 million in the bank?
I bet he thought about it a little. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, let's start with the game that was first.
Defensive play caller in the NFL. 2 years in San Francisco. His first in Houston. He's watching Lamar Jackson take it in. Touchdown Ravens.
Obviously, the likely MVP of the season. He's just different, man. He is... He's like an amalgam of a bunch of different great quarterbacks. I don't know that he's a great passer, but he seems to get it done there too, doesn't he?
I mean, he's really one of one. Just a unique talent and can beat you both ways, with the legs and with the arm. And Steve, I think one thing that's really admirable about him is he's improved as a passer tremendously and over his career, coming in after winning a Heisman and being more of a guy who relied on his athleticism and legs. But, this year he set a career high for completion percentage and racked up a career high in passing yards. So he is really hard to scheme for. And the Ravens offense right now looks really, really dangerous. I'm really impressed with this team, and I'm going to find it hard to pick against them.
I totally agree. And Houston was in a game at halftime, and then it was all Ravens second half. What are the chances we can get him on the Bears? Pretty good, probably, right?
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure they'll be happy to trade straight up him for Justin.
Okay. Saturday.
Okay. Yay.
Saturday night, it's hard not to root for Jared Goff. Had a nice life going in L.A., suddenly finds out he's going to Detroit. The good people of Detroit have embraced him. Beat the Rams and this weekend, and this was one of the better games of the weekend. Lions got it done as well.
Goff looking. St. Brown. End zone. Touchdown Detroit. St. Brown.
I don't know him at all. Is he a good dude?
Goff?
Yeah.
Don't know him.
What do you hear? Anything bad we need to know?
He seems like a good dude. It's a good redemption story for him. I mean, the Rams kind of kicked him to the curb, brought in Matthew Stafford. The trade worked out great for them because they won a Super Bowl with Stafford. And here's Goff sent to Detroit, and he's got Detroit a win away from the Super Bowl, and he's been so steady. He's been really good. And it was. Can you believe that the Lions have won 2 playoff games in the same season for the first time since 1957?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is like really franchise-altering stuff. Great scene at Ford Field and back-to-back weekends. And Tom Hush, your producer, and I were talking on the phone before we started the segment on the air, and we were both agreeing. You could never find it in yourself to cheer for the Packers, but it doesn't feel that wrong.
Nah, you can root for the Lions.
Totally.
And you can find it. Yeah, you can find it within yourself to get behind this Lions.
No, especially with the Bills out. The Lions and the Bills, perennial losers. The Bills got there. They just couldn't get over the hump, and they didn't this weekend. Again, more on that in a second.
And by the way, Steve, I am picking the Lions to go into San Francisco and win.
Ooh,
Wow.
good. Yeah.
Well, there's one guy they got to get around.
McCaffrey. McCaffrey scores! 49ers in front.
Running backs have become the guy that has the ball, so the quarterback's arm will get a rest for a play or two in the NFL. But McCaffrey, this guy's phenomenal.
He's just a machine. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. It literally seems like he scores a touchdown every single game.
And he made running backs relevant again.
So dynamic as a pass catcher and, a traditional runner. But I thought that the Niners, they're an interesting team in that they've mostly been a front runner all year. I don't mean that negatively. I mean, they've kicked butt a lot, and they've, raced out ahead of teams through the season record-wise too. This was, I would say, two-pronged. A little concerning in the way they played because it wasn't that clean, but at the same time, they did show that when things came down to it, they could come back and win, in the fourth quarter. So,
and their quarterback Peter Brady, was that his name? Greg Brady. Their quarterback did not have a good game, and they don't want Detroit. They don't. But Detroit and San Francisco, the AFC, in case you went to bed early last night.
It's up a triangle to left side. Mahomes looks that way. He's going to go wide open, left side, caught. Kelsey, corner round, touchdown, Kansas City. Kelsey hasn't been that open since training camp in St. Joseph. And he slings the ball up into the stands, much to the chagrin of the Bills Mafia.
Mitch Holthus on Kansas City Chiefs radio. He's so good. Touchdown Kansas City is the coolest yell in the NFL. So there's your lineup. Before we ask Mike what to expect this weekend, I believe, Andre, what you want to know about is how do we get Travis Kelce's brother to keep his shirt on?
Oh, God, I saw that. Yeah.
That was epic. That guy is living his best life in retirement.
Jason Kelce, lineman for the Eagles, has announced his retirement. I'm not sure he's not coming back, by the way. But he peels his shirt off when his brother scores, and he's the only guy who could take the attention off of Taylor Swift, who is sitting in front of him. And by the way, half an hour later, he's still sitting there with his shirt off.
Right.
Can I tell you something? I thought that when Kelce scored that touchdown, blew a kiss, and made that heart sign towards Taylor Swift's box, I thought the world was going to spin off its axis. And
Totally.
The internet was going to break, and it was Armageddon. That was like, and then to top it off, the cutaway of Kelce with his shirt off, crushing a beer. Oh my God! What a 30 seconds of world history right
completely.
there.
Completely.
CMT's doing a new series. It's called Rednecks and Billionaires, and it's just her and
right. and the mom behind him with her hand on her heart, like my boy, my boys, plural. Who do we see in the Super Bowl?
I got the Ravens and the Lions.
Okay,
that'd be a good game, man.
Those are your picks.
That's
sure
awesome.
To go wrong.
I love that.
No, that'd be a very good game.
That'd be great because we're tired of the 49ers. We're tired of Kansas City. This would be a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, and like you said in the beginning, I mean, how do you pick against the Ravens? Holy cow!
Of the 2 conference championship games coming up next Sunday, the Ravens are the one I absolutely far and away feel most confident about.
I love the Bills, but that was a game that was more of a blowout than the final score indicated. And Tyler Bass missing that kick at the end just means they're going to call him Scott Norwood, but that game never should have been in that position.
Wide right again.
Yep.
I mean, your heart kind of breaks for the Bills fans. A lot of heartbreak for them. By the way, before we go, multiple reports this morning saying the Bears have found their next offensive coordinator. It's Seahawks offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, and he comes, at least in part, from the Sean McVay coaching tree. McVay, who led the Rams to the Super Bowl. So let's hope he's the guy that gets the offense in shape, whether it's with Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or someone else.
I think we can all agree the Bears are flawless when it comes to picking staff, coaches, management.
Never get anything wrong.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Never.
Mike Berman, NBC. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
And play the music.
Hit the showers, Bears fans. Berman on the Bears brings you the hits every Monday. Brought to you by the Berman Auto Group, right here on the Big 89 WLS.